Good morning. It's Sunday morning, and I'm outside finishing up a little project actually, and I'm just bringing you in on the very end of it because it's probably the most satisfying portion of the project, and that's this little bridge behind me. But we'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna give a little update on the landscaping that we had been working on, and when we had this pond dug out and used the dirt to fill in where we had a pool. We had an above ground pool that was buried almost all the way in the ground. I don't know, it's an above ground pool, but it is buried. But it took a ton of dirt to fill that hole in. It was a 30-foot pool. And so I'm gonna give a little update. I think the last video I did, it was still all brown. It was still winter time. So I'm gonna turn you around and take a look at you can see behind me the pond. It's not all the way filled in, but quite a bit. And it's still obviously very, very red, the water, because of our soil. But I'm hoping in time, as this settles, the water will clear up a little bit. That's what's happened in the past anyway. So I'm gonna turn you around. I'm gonna show you this area a little bit better and the landscape that we've gotten done so far. And then I'm gonna show you the rest of this little bridge project here. So that's the pond. It didn't get a whole lot bigger when we had it dug out, but it did get a lot deeper. So right here I've got drainage coming out that pours into the pond, and I've got a pond liner down, just a little section of one with that rock around it. Now, this is the landscape we've got done so far. And you'll have to go back and watch the other videos to get a full appreciation of this, but this area right there where there's dirt, that had a portion of a deck that I was gonna actually just leave, but you know, it was gonna be kind of a fix for a few years, and then it probably just was gonna be replaced by flagstone anyway. So I've got a couple pallets of flagstone over there on the driveway, and that area there will be flagstone. But what I've done, there's a drain here. In that little portion of flagstone, there's a drain, and it goes in here. It's piped all the way, 4-inch drain pipe all into the ground, and it goes out about right there. And so I went ahead and tied in the gutter for this pavilion. The dogs have been digging in this fresh mulch and stuff, but anyways, and then that's where it comes out, and it goes down to where I showed a minute ago where that drainage pipe is that comes. And so all the water from that drain and from this side of the gutter will go straight to the pond. So a couple of these 3 oak trees I have here, these are oak trees I grew from acorn. And we're trying to do landscape as, I guess, easy maintenance as possible. This is all lavender, these little plants. That's all lavender that I grew from cuttings from my existing lavender. The irises are all irises that I split off of other plants. The oak trees are trees I grew from seed, as I just said. And then I've got some lilies, different kinds of lilies, that these were transplants as well. So we really haven't spent any money on plants. Now over here we did. The irises and lilies are Boy, look at that. Pretty nice. The plants that are in the canoe were already there. They were already in the canoe. And then we just did some low growing grasses just to fill in some areas. And then back here we just did blackberry because we want to fill that area in, and why not grow some food, you know, while we're at it. We kind of got food growing everywhere. So you may be asking what this big ugly red strip in the middle is. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, you won't know, but I'll turn around here without trying to make you dizzy. First of all this white stuff is hair from our dogs. We are, we're in shedding season. It's kind of like shearing sheep, man. It's crazy, but anyways, that's what all that is. But anyway, the water runoff here from the back of the property, it comes right through here. And I understand it's very deceiving, you know, the elevation change and all that stuff, but it would come right through here, and this is where our pool was, all this whole area. And if we got a lot of rain at once, it would just run into the pool. Man, it was terrible. So I've got a little bit of this flagstone, this little area is gonna come out. And then basically from this little hole right there, that's a drain, that's a yard drain, that'll come out as well. But from about there on, that grass will come down about 4 or 5 inches. And then there'll be a pond liner that will go the whole stretch all the way down to the pond. And it'll get covered with stone, some boulders, some, you know, large, kind of more riprappy, I guess, stone, similar to this. And then the little cracks in between will be filled in with, you know, river rock. But that liner will come all the way down. It'll meet up with this drainage ditch. This is the overflow from our windmill. It comes out by that iris at the end. So it'll kind of merge right here, and you can see where the water's flowing. Kind of this whole area right here will have a liner. It'll go all the way down into the pond. So we can avoid erosion, and it's just gonna look cool, I think. These boards here, they're just there to hold that mulch back until I can get more stone and get that liner put in. So from here to here and from there to there will all be boulders. Probably not this big, just because I can't get equipment in here now, but they'll be, you know, bigger rock to hold all that back. So that's kind of the update on this. We also have a project that I hired out because Christy wants it done sooner than later. So, well, the barrel's just laying there because I haven't found a new home for it, but we're having our porch screened in. Now this I hired out because these columns are all going to be stoned, and then this pony wall that's going across will also be stone, and then from the top of the pony wall up will be screen. I can't point out too much because my phone wants to autofocus on my finger, but so anyways, that's what this mess is. We've got the crew, they got their tools back here. We got our furniture, patio furniture all stacked up, and it's just a mess. But Duke, hey buddy. This is our oldest dog, Duke. He's 10. Anyway, so this is the mess we got going on, and I'll be glad when it's all done. I'll be glad when we get the dogs all de-shedded, I guess you'd say. these dogs have an undercoat, so they have 2 coats, and in the summer you got to get that undercoat off of them. But so we got several things going on. I'm super glad we hired a crew to do this, because that would have taken me alone, that would have taken me a month. And I don't know that I don't have the expertise to have the stone look right and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, we're looking pretty good. We're getting things done. We're gonna go over to the bridge, and I'm gonna show you the satisfying part, which is cutting off the ends of the boards and making it all look pretty. All right, so as you can see, I didn't want to bore you with the frame of this bridge. Well, let me back up. This bridge, when I bought this property, there was nothing at all on this property. And as just something fun for me and the kids to do when I first bought this, for something just a little fun for us to do on the weekends, because we weren't living here, obviously there was no house, but I had some salvaged lumber and some railroad ties and just a few things to where we were gonna build this little bridge. So this is actually the first thing that was ever built on this property. It's probably been 14 years ago. Didn't really have a whole lot of money, and just thought this would be something for me and the kids to do. They were real little then. The deck boards had all rotted out. So I redid the whole thing, except for the railroad ties, which are kind of the pylons. There's 4 of them, and you'll see those. But they were kind of the pylons that were used to hold the whole thing together, or in the ground. But I had this Trex deck from the deck that was around the pool, and I thought, well, it's a good chance to reuse that. So this is built out of all reclaimed materials. The 2x6s and some of the other lumber is from that deck, and the Trex deck, the decking, is also from that deck. So we're gonna get to the fun part, which is cutting these all off pretty, and hopefully it all comes together nice. So there it is. You can see these are railroad ties. There's 4 of them, 2 on each side. And those things have been in the ground for 14 years, and they are still solid as a rock. Now the water level doesn't normally, they're not always wet, like soaking wet, but hopefully digging this pond out will make it to where this holds a little bit better water. But there it is. I put a little flare on the ends just to make it a little bit more wide on the ends. Thought that was a little nice touch. But anyway, that's it. It's certainly not perfect, but it gets the job done. So like I said, it's certainly not perfect, and I personally prefer that. I like imperfection, rustic, rusty, old looking. I'll build something new and try to make it look old. It's just my style. I like it. So anyways, let me know what you think of the bridge. Hopefully this thing will be here till, you know, the grandkids are grown up. And this gives a good spot for the dogs to run across when they run up to the front pasture to bark at cars and people walking and whatever. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. It's only like 9 a.m. and it's about 100% humidity. Oh man, it's gonna be a long summer. I'm already needing to change my shirt out for a dry one. So I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next video.